Namaste everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hrishikesh and I'm a Vedic astrologer, and today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic. Seventh from Venus. The seventh from Venus will bring you your spouse, the person that you'll end up marrying. Could be a soulmate as well. Now I've talked about soulmate in a previous video of mine, but a lot of people, who are not yet aware of the basics of astrology as to what is their birth chart, you know, what are the houses, how to look at seventh from Venus. They got confused. So a lot of them messaged me saying, we want to understand it. If you can, make it in a more simple way. And I was like, why not? That's what I'm here to do. To make sure that you understand the knowledge, understand the Vedic knowledge of astrology. So seventh from Venus will bring you your soulmate or not. How will we know? So let us understand that. And before we begin, I always pray to my Guru and Ganesh so that right knowledge flows from me to all of you. So let us begin. Seventh from Venus, soul's desire versus manifested reality. Now, what does this heading mean? See, many times in our lives, some of us come across a person that we feel strongly connected to. We end up madly in love with that person. We feel like we know this person from several lifetimes. Okay. The relationship, the connection, the chemistry is so good, it's so intense, it's so fulfilling. And we're so sure that, yes, this is the person that I'm going to end up with for life, forever. But at times, that doesn't happen. Get separated from this person. And then you end up taking a very practical decision and marrying somebody else, but not to the person who was born from your heart's strongest desire. Why does that happen? How will we come to know whether in this life we'll end up with our soulmate or not? Whether first, will we ever meet our soulmate or not? What are the chances? Okay. So when we're talking about soul, soulmate, the word soul becomes very important. Soul means Atma. Surya is Sarvatma. And Sun, the planet Sun, is the significator of Atma, the significator of soul. Okay. So the seventh house or the seventh from Surya will tell us about what is our soul seeking. What kind of person is our soul seeking? But now who is deciding whether we'll end up with that person or some different person altogether? Venus, Shukra. Why? Because Venus is the significator of all relationships, of marriage, of relationships. Venus is the guy who'll decide, look, this is who are you going to get married with? And seventh from the sun is our soul's desire. So now if there is a very strong connection between seventh from the sun and seventh from the Venus, very strong connection, then we can find our soulmate and we can end up with them for life. But if the connection between these two are not strong, so we will find our soulmate probably in the Dasha period or the transits of planets when they activate those houses. We will come across that person, the person that our soul wants. Will have a relationship with them, but will not end up with them. If Venus, the big guy, is not allowing it. Okay. So the first important thing today we'll understand how to check the seventh house from Sun and Venus and how to know what is the destiny of soulmate in our life. All right. I have a few examples, so let us look at that. Very interesting examples. This is the chart of Mr. Shah Rukh Khan, superstar in Bollywood. Okay, now many of you, all right. If you Google, a lot of time people, when I put up charts, people comment, oh no, this is not the chart of Shah Rukh Khan. He's Leo ascendant. See, whatever you type in Google does not necessarily mean that the right, accurate answers will come to you. Many times the charts of politicians, celebrities, okay, are incorrect on the net. So do not go by it. The charts that I'm displaying here are cross-checked, are verified with the events that have happened in Mr. Shah Rukh Khan's life, his personality, his habits, all those being taken into consideration. He is Libra ascendant. All right. Okay. Let us look at Mr. Shah Rukh Khan's chart. Now, he's married to his wife, Gauri, with whom he fell in love with, okay, from, I guess, school or college days in Delhi. And he married her. He pursued her and he married her. And he was madly in love with her at one time. And they are married now, successfully, happily, hopefully, fingers crossed, and with kids. Okay? Why fingers crossed? Because we never know the reality. What we see on the net cannot be reality as well. But we wish well. Okay. So now, let us see what Mr. Shah Rukh Khan's soul is desiring. What kind of person? Who is bringing the soul mate for Mr. Shah Rukh Khan? So we look at sun's position first in the chart. Here, the sun is placed in the ascendant itself. Okay, so we are counting from the sun. Do not mistake this as counting from the ascendant. If sun was, let's say, for example, placed in the 12th house, we would count from here. Okay, we are counting from the position of sun in the chart. Sun is placed here, and we put our finger on sun, and we count 7 houses from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, Aries sign in the 7th house. Mars is the lord of Aries. Now, where is Mars placed? Okay, we look at Mars position. It's in the 2nd house of Scorpio. Okay, Mars is here. Remember this. Very important. Now, let us say what a big guy Venus is saying. Is Venus allowing the soulmate to end up with Mr. Shah Rukh Khan forever or not? So we look at, I'm so sorry, we look at the position of Venus in the birth chart. Where is Venus placed? In the 3rd house in the sign of Sagittarius. Now we count the 7th house from Venus. All right, from Venus, not from the ascendant. Many people do this mistake. You have to count from Venus. So we put our fingers on Venus and we count from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we end up at the sign of Gemini, where Jupiter is placed. Now, first of all, who's the lord of Gemini? Mercury. Okay, where is Mercury placed? Look at that. It's placed with Mars, Ketu, in a sign of Scorpio. Wow. What does that mean? This means there is now a very strong connection between the 7th house from Venus and the 7th house from Sun. So that means that Mr. Shah Rukh Khan will find his soulmate and end up with her for life, forever. Now, this chart is very interesting. Okay. In Vedic astrology, in a male chart, we look at spouse from 2 places, the 7th house and the 4th house as well. Okay, now the 4th house has a strong directional moon placed in the sign of Capricorn. So if you look up, if you Google the names for Rashi, okay, for signs in Vedic astrology, Makar Rashi, Capricorn sign will give you some letters, some sounds. And from that, you'll find go, that sign, that sound, that name, that letter. And what is the name of Mr. Shah Rukh Khan's wife? Gauri. Gauri. Okay. Now, this is very important. Moon is related to the deity Gauri, Parvati in Vedic astrology. Moon is strong here. And moon is also related to large water bodies, basically seas, oceans. Okay. So did Mr. Shah Rukh Khan get fame in Delhi or in Mumbai? Does he live nearby the sea? He does. Didn't he pursue Gauri till Mumbai? He did. Look at that. Look at how beautifully the chart is working. Okay. So this is how we look at the 7th houses, from Sun and from Venus to determine whether we'll end up with a soulmate or not. Okay. All right. Now, one more thing before I move ahead. See, any planets that are placed from 7th house from Venus, okay? I'm not talking about the 7th house from Sun, 7th house from Venus. Here Jupiter is placed. So this planet, the significator of this planet Okay, the significations of this planet Jupiter will help you to find a spouse. Okay, so this could be, elder brother or elder brother like figure, a guru, a teacher. Okay, somebody who has strong connectivity with Jupiter. All right, you have to look at the significations of the planets there. Basically, any planet placed in the seventh from Venus will help you, will assist you to find your spouse. Okay, now moving on with a very interesting example. Okay, this is a very interesting chart. This is a chart of Priyanka Chopra, a Bollywood actress, moved abroad and married a foreigner, a guy from a different culture, different country. How does that happen? So let us look at her chart. First of all, we'll look at what a soul wants. So we look at Sun in a chart. Sun is placed in the sign of Cancer. All right, Sun is here. So we count from Sun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ladies and gentlemen, it ends up at the 10th house, a sign Capricorn, Makar Rashi. The Lord is Shani, Saturn. A very Saturn placed in the 6th house with Mars. This is not a good yoga. All right, this is not a good yoga. So what must have happened with her, I'll tell you. Because her soul was seeking this. All right, Saturn. Okay, Saturn is the significator of sorrow, pain. It's combined with Mars, so violence, aggression. So she must have gone through a relationship with a person, okay, where she would have experienced violence and aggression and suffering and sorrow. So here we learn a lesson. Whatever the soul wants, it does not every time mean it is good for you. It is great for you. So do not run, with that thought in your head. I want to marry my soul. I want to marry my soulmate. I want to find a soulmate. No, at times what your soul wants can be very karmic, and it can be deep rooted in your karmic account, and you can go through immense amount of sufferings because the soul has brought you here to burn your karmas on this planet. So when you have a male fig combination in seventh from the Surya, make sure that you do not end up into a relationship with that person, or you can go through hell probably, which she went through. And look at the placement of Saturn with Mars. It's in the 6th house of enmity. So probably when they would have separated, okay, a lot of enmity would have been there between them. All right. So then she got, she moved away with that experience and tragedy, and then Venus kicked in, and Venus is placed in the 3rd house. And 7th from Venus will count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The sign of Sagittarius. All right. And where is Jupiter? The Lord of Sagittarius placed in the sign of Libra. And who's the Lord again of Libra? Venus. Look at the connection. But so here now we see that the 7th from the Sun and the 7th from the Venus do not have a direct connection. Okay, they don't have a direct connection. Okay, yes, there's a feeble connection. I'll tell you how. The Lord of Virgo is Rahu, Mercury. All right. The Lord of Sagittarius is Jupiter. Okay. The 7th from Venus is Jupiter. The 7th from Sun is Saturn. Saturn is placed in Virgo. Fine. Who's the Lord? Mercury and Rahu. Who's the Lord of Jupiter? Venus. Okay. They're placed together, all of them, in the 3rd house. But the connection is not very direct. It's not very strong. It's feeble. Okay. It's not direct like we saw in Mr. Shah Rukh Khan chart, straight away. 7 from Sun, Mars, 7 from Venus, Mercury, both of them together. Not like that. Very feeble. All right. Secondly, one more thing we have to understand. The 7 from Venus is also showing Jupiter. Jupiter is, for a woman, Jupiter is also a married man. Okay. So Jupiter in the sign of Libra. Okay. So married star, superstar, She could have had made a connection with that person. And look at this. Venus is in Gemini, 7 from Venus is Sagittarius. Venus here is in Sagittarius, and the 7 from Venus is Gemini with Jupiter there. Smart people will get this. I don't want to say anything more. Now, one more thing that I bring to attention is whenever planets are placed with Venus, they will also have a strong say on the matters of Venus. Okay. Rahu and Mercury. Rahu is very strong. Why? It's in the sign of Gemini, it is exalted. Okay. So according to the, you can, those who want to research more can go and check at the Shahs and periods and transits. So Rahu must have had the power at that time. It's strong, it's exalted. And it decided, okay, fine. She went abroad and she found a man younger to her. Mercury is younger people. Rahu foreign to her, exalted. All right. In the sign of Gemini is Mercury. So the communication, singing, media, or he's also a star over there. All right, in the world of music. And she ended up with him. Okay. But the experience that she went through from 7th from Venus is what drove her away from here. All right. So this is how we look at the placements, the combinations to determine whether one, will you end up with what your heart wants, not. Second, simply understand whether what your heart wants is good for you or not. Okay. So not every time what your heart wants is supposed to be good for you. It can be very painful for you too, like it was for her. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here we come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this, tuning in and watching this amazing video on 7th from Venus. Hope this time I've done justice and you've been able to understand the matter quickly, easily. So if you've liked the video, press the like button, leave your feedback in the comment section below. All right. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. Okay. I'll be coming more regularly now, hopefully, with a lot of interesting topics related to Jyotish, spirituality, Vedic astrology, and numerology. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hari Om. That's it. Catch all of you very soon.